Okay, this is lesson 1.4, notes on subtracting integers. Today we're going to explain how subtracting integers is related to adding integers, explain how to model subtraction of integers on a number line, and find differences of integers by reasoning about absolute values. So looking at our first question here, we have find -2 minus 4. So the first thing we're going to do is use the subtraction rule to change that to an addition problem. Remember, we're going to be adding the opposite, or what we learned as kachap. And then when we do our regular work, we're going to work with our acronym SADS for same signs add, different signs subtract. So if we rewrite this problem, -2 minus 4, that is the same thing as -2 plus a -4, because we're changing our subtraction to addition and whatever comes after it to its opposite. Now we're ready to use the number line. We're going to always start at 0 and go to our first number, and that is -2. So we're going to take our arrow and go to -2. And then we're going to plot a point right above it. And if we're going in the minus direction, -4, we'd be going this way, which is the same thing as adding a -4. So 4 units negative, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that gets us to -6. And if we check our answer, that makes sense because a negative plus a negative are the same sign. So you add and keep the sign. Same signs add, and you keep the sign. All right, let's take a look at part B here. We have find -3 minus a -7. We're going to rewrite that as -3 plus 7. Again, adding the opposite. Keep, change opposite. All right, so we're going to start at our -3 with our first arrow. We're going to plot a point, and we're moving in the positive direction, 7. In other words, we're moving away from 7 negatives, which means we're going to go in the positive direction. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We go back 3 to get to 0, and then 4 more units. And where we land is our answer. Our answer is +4. If we check with SADS, different signs subtract, and we have more positive. So our answer is positive. All right, I want you to pause this video and try the next 3 questions below, and then come back and we'll check our work together. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at number 1. We have 1 plus -4 if you rewrote it correctly. So we're going to go out to 1 with our first arrow, and then in the negative direction, 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer is -3. For number 2, we have -5. And then we're going in the negative direction, 2 more. Or we can write it as -5 plus -2. 1, 2. So our answer here is -7. And for number 3, we're at +1 for our first value, and then minusing a -3 is the same as adding a +3 because we're moving away from the negative, so we're getting more positive. 3 units, 1, 2, 3. So our answer here is 4. Okay, let's take a look at the other side. Okay, this time we're just going to use the algorithm instead of the number line. So we're going to be working with some grouping. So our first step is to always do keep, change opposite. Okay, so step 1 is kachap, changing it to addition, and then once we have it in addition, same signs add, different signs subtract. For the same signs, when you add them, you keep the sign, and when different signs subtract, you keep whatever you have more of or most. All right, 3 minus 12 is 3 plus -12. Different signs subtract. 12 minus 3 is 9. and our answer is negative because we have more negative. Part B, we're going to rewrite that as negative 8 plus 13. This time we have more positive, different signs subtract, so our answer is positive 5. Part C, we have 5 minus a negative 4, which is the same thing as 5 plus 4, and we know that's 9. Okay, again, pause this and see if you can do the next try it questions, and then come back to check your work. Okay, welcome back. We have 8 minus 3. Well, we already know that that's just 5, so we're not going to rewrite that as a fraction. Just to rewrite it with Kachop. Number 5, 9 minus 17. Well, you're taking away more than you have, so you know you're going to be in the negatives. We know we're going to have a negative answer. We're going to rewrite this as 9 plus negative 17. And 17 minus 9 is 8, so our answer is negative 8. Here we have negative 3 minus 3. That's rewritten as negative 3 plus negative 3, adding the opposite. And negatives plus negatives are a whole lot of negative, so we have a total of negative 6. Okay, number 7, we have negative 14 minus 9, negative 14 plus negative 9. That's altogether negative 23. And number 8, we have 10 plus 8, which is 18. And number 9, we have negative 12 plus 12, and that's a zero pair, so our answer is 0. Okay, then we have modeling real life. Which continent has the greater range of elevation? So we have North America has the highest elevation of 6,198 meters. Africa has 5,895 meters. The lowest elevation for North America is negative 8 meters. And here in Africa, it's negative 155 meters. So to understand the negative signs, elevation, it means that 0 is your sea level. So we're going to have to greater range. Okay, range means maximum minus our minimum. So for North America, we're going to have our 6,198 minus our negative 86, which changes to 6,198 plus 86. And if we add those up, we get 6,284 meters. Okay, now for Africa, 5,895 minus our negative 155. That means we're going to do 5,905 plus our 155, which is 6,050 meters. Okay, so North America has the greater range, and then we're also told here to compare the ranges. All right, you have a try it question. A polar vortex causes the temperature to decrease from 3 degrees Celsius at 3 p.m. to negative 2 degrees Celsius at 4 p.m. The temperature continues to change by the same amount each hour until 8 p.m. Find the total change in temperature from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so we're going to do a little table here. We're going to have time and temperature. So it's at 3 p.m., it's 3 degrees Celsius. So at 4 p.m., it's negative 2. Then we're going to go to 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we notice that the temperature is dropping 5 degrees. 3 minus 3 to negative 2 is 5, negative 5. So then we're going to have -7 minus 5 degrees. We're going to be at -12 minus another 5 degrees. We're going to be at -16. And then by 8 p.m., we're going to be at -22. So 3 minus our -22 is the same as 3 plus 22, which is 25 degrees change in temperature. Okay, that's how much it dropped in total. That's it for your notes.